Hello, everybody. Are you awake? If you are in my time zone, you're probably getting ready to have your morning tea, just the way I am. Those of you who are joining us from other parts of the world, please go and grab a glass of water, a drink of tea, coffee, or any of your favorite drinks, because we are going to drink a couple of sips mindfully. You can also bring some food if you want. This is the food that I have here. If you are having dinner, you can eat your dinner mindfully with me. And if you don't have any of that, anything to eat or drink, then grab any object that's next to you. This is the object. And we are going to feel this object or pay attention to this object mindfully. That's what we are going to do. Today is day 2 of my mindfulness camp. Yesterday, I meditated with you in the morning for half an hour and in the evening for half an hour. The reason we are offering it twice a day is to cover the entire time zone. But if you wish to meditate with me every day twice, that's wonderful. That's great. This is what we are going to do. In 1 week, we will repeat similar types of activities. I'll talk about it. I'll tell you a little bit of history, maybe a story, maybe a research study. And then we will do the meditation for 10 to 15 minutes. I'll take questions after that, if there are questions. And then we will stop. And we are going to do this every day. So this week is about mindful activities. So whatever happens in your daily life, how to be mindful of that. That's what we are going to do today. Next week, we will move on to other types of meditations. So by the end of the 6 weeks, you are going to know everything you want to know about all basics of mindfulness meditations, what you're going to get from it, what kind of benefits you can derive from it, and you can actually personally start experiencing those benefits. The idea about mindfulness is that you have to keep the practice going. Sometimes it may not seem like the most exciting activity. You may wonder, why am I doing it? Sometimes you will find meaning. You will find that you're being mindful in a lot of daily activities, even when I'm not with you. And you know what that will do to you? Your life will become much more enriched, mostly joyful, because there's so many things around us that are actually ordinary in some sense, but once you start paying attention to it mindfully, they can take a magical nature. For example, there is the sunlight coming this direction. By the way, I'm in India, I'm in New Delhi still, and the Delhi heat is on, but I am in my sister's beautiful home in this room that's cool. However, I can see that the light coming in because of the curtains. The light is marvelous. It's beautiful. And I love the curtains, so I'm going to show this to you. You see the curtains and the light, you see the greenery, the green tree behind it. I'm sure if you look outside of your window or if you look inside the room at some object, you will find the light. I find the light a fascinating thing. If you are not in India or the time zone that is similar to India, even then you will find something around you that you can enjoy, something that you may not have noticed before. Looking at it, experiencing it with all our six senses is what gives us a complete experience of that object. When I say six senses, some of you may not know what I'm talking about because I explained it yesterday in my day 1. I suggest that you can a recorded session, any one of them from yesterday's, from day one. But you haven't. I just want to repeat it. While I am having this mindful cup of tea with you, I would like to explain the six senses to you: the touch, the smell, the eyesight, looking at it, moving it, tasting it. These are the five senses, the body senses. The sixth one is our perception. What that means is to know what associations, feelings, or thoughts you may have, to be aware of it as you're experiencing that. I just realized that I forgot to put my headphones on. I wonder if you could hear whatever I was trying to say. I certainly hope that you did, but if you didn't, I just want you to know that we are going to have a mindful cup of tea. And I was just talking about how we can enjoy the ordinary things around us when we start paying mindful attention to it. And mindful attention would mean you use all your six senses: touch, smell, hearing, eyesight, and taste. You use all your five senses, and the sixth sense is that of perception. It's our mind, it's our feelings and association. You pay attention to that. And when you experience any object or any event around you by using all these five or six senses, the experience becomes enriched, it becomes fuller. So that's what we are going to do. So before I say anything more about it, let's have a mindful cup of tea. And as I said before, for some people, it may mean either some other drink, some other object, or some other event that's going on around them. Experience it with all your six senses.
Your mind is wandering around, and if your mind is trying to do other things, just bring it back to this tea. Right now, what we are trying to do is to focus on the experience of the tea. Notice the things that otherwise you may not notice. Allow the whole, allow the taste, the explosion of taste to occur in your mouth. Someone's telling me they heard me because I was worried about me not wearing headphones and if my voice was picked up. So thank you for telling me that. I also have a suggestion for you. When you're doing this mindful activity, you may or may not have a question, but if you have a comment about your experience, I would love it if you actually let me know. What was your experience? Does it make sense to you that whatever activity we did, do you have any question about why we did it, or you were too busy actually paying attention and experiencing whatever it was in a fuller way? Did it enrich your experience? What feelings did you get when you were having this experience? That's what I would like to know. Meanwhile, I am going to move on to another type of meditation, rather mindful activity that I'm going to ask you to do. All we are going to do is sit here and I'm going to pay attention to the sound that are coming to me. You know why this activity is so useful? Because there are times when you just have to wait, maybe in the doctor's office or in traffic. Sometimes we're so frustrated. But at that time, when you're waiting, not when you're driving, but let's say you are in the parking lot, you're waiting to pick somebody up, or you are waiting for some office or something to open or whatever it is, or maybe you are on the computer and you want something to happen and it's taking a long time. Anytime when you have to wait, pay attention to the sounds around you in a complete way. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do is, as if my attention is here, my attention is in the right ear, and whatever is coming to me, whatever sounds are coming to me from this right ear, I'm going to listen to them, and I'm going to notice any small sound or big sound that comes to me. Sometimes what happens is one sound grabs your attention. Then you pay attention to that sound for as long as you can. And just as I said before, as you're doing it, if any thought or feeling comes to you, just notice that, oh yeah, I thought that this sound was irritating, or I had this really pleasant feeling, or oh my god, this reminds me of the time when I was traveling and I heard this plane coming in. Whatever the association is, just notice it. Okay, so let's do it for a few minutes. I'm going to sit here and listen to the sounds, and for that purpose I think removing my headphones will help. And I'm going to close my eyes or open. It depends on whether you want the eyesight to be also one of the senses you are paying attention to. But in this case, because we are paying attention to the sound, you may want to avoid other senses coming in as much. But if you're waiting and if you don't want to close your eyes, that's okay too. If your mind is wandering around, that's okay. Just bring it back to the sounds. Complete attention to the sounds. Wow. I want to tell you about my own experience of listening to the sound. There is a fan going on here. I could hear the fan and I could feel the breeze a lot more than before. I wasn't really paying attention. I felt the breeze here and I could see this curtain a little bit because of the breeze. It's moving. And that whole experience was incredible. For a moment, it was sort of like you're part of the whole thing that's going on around you. The hot weather and the experience of the breeze. Now, some of you who are in a different time zone and a different weather pattern may experience something totally different. And that's the way it is. Everything changes. Everything changes. That's partly what you are learning by being mindful. A, enriched experience, and B, awareness. Let me see, I have a question here. Okay, so I guess you guys probably can see the question, but I'm going to read it out anyway. In the past, when I tried mindfulness before, I felt like it was not working for me and became impatient as it may not be a good use of time. Any suggestions or insights? How do we know we are doing it right or making progress? That's a wonderful question. And it comes up a lot of times when I'm doing mindfulness workshops. I have a couple of comments on that. Number one, I think sometimes we have expectations of things working right away or things working like a magic wand, partly because there has been so much talk of all the benefits of mindfulness, stress reduction, attention, focus, and also enriched life and a lot of other things, memory and all these sorts of things that we expect every time we meditate to have this incredible experience. But that's okay, you may have that experience, but not every time. In fact, what mindfulness is teaching you, one of the things it's teaching you is to sit through whatever is coming to you. So, Eugenia, you said that it was not working, which you thought, well, it was sort of like maybe sometimes maybe boring or you felt impatient. Notice that I'm feeling really impatient. For some people it is harder, for some people it is easier to stay with whatever you're supposed to be doing. So that's what, in a way, you're training your mind. You have decided to meditate for 5 minutes, and you do that regardless of whether you feel impatient, whether you feel bored, or whether you feel excited. You notice whatever is coming to you. If you start worrying about, is it working for me, that's one of the things, that's one of the what's called the obstacles to mindfulness. Our mind doesn't want to, a lot of times, not all the time, but sometimes our mind wants to do something that's something else or easy or distract ourselves. So feeling distracted or feeling like, is it not working or not, that's part of it. So don't worry about if you're doing it right or not. Just keep doing it and let's see where that takes you. I have a suggestion, Eugenia. One is, when you are doing your daily activities, when you think about the word mindful, look around and notice something. Also, as I said, tea or shower, just for 2 minutes, see if your life feels more enriched for those moments when you pay attention. Sometimes it may seem unpleasant to you, but notice that you are learning to sit through all kinds of things. Somebody is saying, I felt something cool down my spine. I felt quiet. Wonderful. In fact, I had a similar experience. And believe me, each time your experience is going to be different. And when your experience is going to be different, in fact, you are learning to sit through all these different experiences. You're becoming extra aware of it and you're accepting it. Remember the word accept. This is a psychological process. You're training your brain to be aware, to accept, and then move more toward joy. We are all in the same boat. Someone else says, in the past when I tried mindfulness, oh yeah, I guess I did. That's Eugenia's question, and I have already answered that. I think maybe, I'm not sure, she may have posted it again. But in any case, one of the questions that always comes up is also, should I be feeling spiritual? Should I be having all these incredible experiences every time? As I said, that may or may not happen, but you are doing the right thing. Come back either tonight for me or tomorrow, and we are going to talk more about it. And you can post your questions right away if you have any, and that way we'll move forward. I'm going to make sure, Eugenia, whoever is asking me questions, that you know what you're getting from mindfulness. So stick around, come back with a cup of tea, cup of coffee, or any drink that you want, and let's do it together. Let's learn about mindfulness and let's learn to enjoy our life as well as deal with whatever unpleasantness that comes to us in the right way. We are going to become wise together. I'll see you tomorroor in the evening, my time.